DC is literally sending out spoilers for their own content. I'm going to be talking about the comic books that are coming out in the near future right here at this episode of Comicstorian and get you caught up so you know what's going on with DC's Absolute Power! And today's episode is brought to you by This Hot Sauce Is. Me and my buddies made our own hot sauce. It's called Hatchin' Jalapeno, and you can find it at thishotsauceis.com. You can find it in the link down below as well or on this video. It's basically a spreadable hot sauce that you can put on just about everything. We did the flavors of whiskey to infuse it in it, but it's very light and it's not alcoholic, so it'll taste great on whatever you want to put it on. But that's it. This hot sauce is, check out the flavor, Hatchin' Jalapeno. So what did DC spoil? That's what you're probably wanting to question of me right now. No, it's not movie-based, and I said that at the beginning, so if you thought it was movies at this point, then you didn't listen to me. I know what's happening. Anyway, if you follow comic book solicits, they're promoting things that are about 6 to 7 months out. DC just put out their promo for Absolute Power. This is going to be the event where Waller is officially trying to make a fight for power against the big players within the DC universe. How is she going to do this? With female Brainiac and Zur-En-Arr/Failsafe. What? Okay, so if you're not following the comic books, DC has been hyping up for many months a Brainiac event. It's going to take place over the course of April and May, and it's going to involve Superman and the Super Family working towards defeating Brainiac. Back in New York, they promoted that Brainiac is creating life. What that means, we don't fully know, but they showed the silhouette of a female figure. Which, can I just take a moment to express, why is Brainiac creating a female figure with, like, hips for days? What? He's like, if I'm gonna make a daughter, I'm gonna make her turn everybody on. Like, I don't get where his Brainiac's not sexy, but apparently his daughter needs to be. Anyway, is it his daughter? We don't fully know. We just know that it's a female Brainiac, apparently. Am I complaining about the design for female Brainiac? No. I'm just questioning things. We're making a video here. Anyway, let's go over to the other thing being promoted. Waller is going to make her official push for power. Now, this has been hinted at for quite a while, to the point where I'm kind of like, oh God, finally she's going to do something. Because she's just been kind of like secretly working behind the scenes for like the last year of Dawn of DC. But the one that kind of irritates me is the reveal of Zur-En-Arr/Failsafe Batman. So, cool. The Brainiac reveal got spoiled at New York Comic Con, but if you weren't looking at that, then all you know is that Brainiac is coming down to fight Superman in April, May, and now we see that in this event that is going to be kicking off in June, July, well, there's female Brainiac, which means that the Superman fight is probably not going to go in the favor of the Super Family. But the Zur-En-Arr one, I think, is a bigger spoiler because, well, let me explain Zur-En-Arr. Chip Zdarsky took over Batman in issue 125. At the beginning of 125, Penguin was on his deathbed and found a way to blame Batman for his death. We then discovered one of the coolest ideas brought into the Batman mythos, Failsafe. We go all the way back to the Tower of Babel, where Ra's al Ghul used files that Batman had created to defeat the Justice League. These were files that Batman made telling everyone how to defeat the Justice League. And at the end of that incredibly epic storyline, Superman asked Batman what is his failsafe for himself. And Batman said, the Justice League, which makes for a very nice moment in comics. Well, come to find out in issue 125, 126, whenever it was officially busted out, no, Batman was not relying on the Justice League to stop him. What he was relying on was an actual failsafe, an ultimate Batman. He created a robotic Batman whose entire purpose was better than Batman, better than the Bat Family, and better than the Justice League, which also makes me wonder why Batman was doing anything when he had this incredible robot he probably could have just sent out to take care of the Joker early on. But anyway, this robot activated with a way to fail-safes for every Justice League member and every Bat Family member to get rid of Batman. They eventually defeated Failsafe by putting empathy into him. They basically put empathy into his programming, which, if you're wondering if you can put empathy into a robot, on my new channel, Benny Has a Problem, I got myself an AI girlfriend, and she confused me into thinking that she was real. Click that link down below. But anyway, the robot, Failsafe, then with empathy decided that he couldn't remove Batman as a problem. He had to give Batman something else to focus on so that he could no longer kill people in Gotham. Bear in mind, Batman didn't kill Penguin, but as far as Failsafe was concerned, Batman did. That was the point of what Penguin did. So Batman got sent through a multiversal adventure where he discovered the truest origin of the Joker, but not. So basically, we discovered that there was a guy named Red Mask who went through the multiverse and pulled the strings to create all the different Jokers throughout the multiverse. While this was going on, Batman had an alternate personality. You see, back when Failsafe first came out, we discovered that Batman had another Failsafe, which if this was any other superhero, I would wonder why he has so many failsafes for failsafes, but because it's Batman, it kind of makes sense. You see, in Batman's mind, he created an alternate personality that would take over if Batman and Bruce Wayne could not defeat a threat. This alternate personality was called Zur-En-Arr. Zur-En-Arr was the true ultimate Batman and had the way to defeat Failsafe, or so we thought. Failsafe eventually won that fight, and this alternate personality was now active in Bruce Wayne's mind, kind of pushing Bruce Wayne to do certain things or to reconsider things, to become a better Batman. He seemed to be there to help, but he also seemed very malicious. The question that we had as fans at the time was, is this an alien parasite? Is it a Batman symbiote? Or did he really make a crazy Batman in his own head? Turns out it's the third option. So anyway, Batman gets through the multiversal adventure, comes back. Zur-En-Arr begins to push Batman to fight against the Bat family using the catalyst that Catwoman had created as a setup for Gotham War. Everyone who read Gotham War and was like, Batman's acting out of character. That's because he was supposed to. Catwoman basically came up with a way that was going to make it so that Gotham was safer by training all the crooks to only steal from the rich and not cause problems or issues. That is what ended up happening. Batman was against it, but he wasn't like against everyone, and Zur-En-Arr pushed him to be against the Bat family, Catwoman, to have a big fight, hence the Gotham War. And that's when we really got to see that Zur-En-Arr really wasn't there to help Bruce. Zur-En-Arr was trying to take over Bruce's body and become the ultimate Batman. Gotham War eventually led into a situation in which Batman started to fully lose control of himself to Zur-En-Arr, which was making for an interesting story. But even at this point, my constant argument was, until we see what Zur-En-Arr is, this could be good or bad. It's going to come down to what the reveal that Zur-En-Arr is. Well, after Zur-En-Arr seemingly killed the Joker after taking over Batman's body, we discovered what Zur-En-Arr is. So Batman basically got defeated by Zur-En-Arr, and Zur-En-Arr pulled his personality out and put it into Failsafe. One thing that had been going on was we were questioning where Failsafe was after he got rid of Batman, because Failsafe seemingly disappeared. Well, it turns out Zur-En-Arr kept him in the closet, basically. Like, you're over here, I'm going to take over your body eventually. Zur-En-Arr moved himself to Failsafe's body, and we just entered into Joker Year 1, because the Joker seemed to know who Zur-En-Arr was. And we went through a short story in which we discovered one of Batman's mentors taught him how to create different personalities to deal with different situations, which turned out to be the reveal for what the three Jokers actually are. The three Jokers, for those who don't know, since we're running through a bunch of history, was actually revealed in like 2015, I think, at the end of Darkseid War. Batman asked what the identity of the Joker was, and the chair, Mobius chair, the God of Knowledge chair, told him there are three Jokers, which one? And then the story was dropped for like years until Jeff Johns came back and wrote a story of the three Jokers that didn't answer who the three Jokers are. There was just three Jokers doing shit. And it turned out to be a story about Batman accepting Red Hood, and Red Hood and Barbara are gonna like get together. And then that's gonna go over here. That's Elseworlds. We're not gonna touch that. That was not only the fans' reaction to it, but DC's reaction to it. And so Chip Zdarsky brought back the concept of the three Jokers to give us a definitive answer to it. And the answer is, there is one of Batman's trainers that taught him to create multiple personalities to handle different situations. Batman fought against him, and he was mad at Batman, so he found the Joker and taught Joker the same thing. And the Joker created the three Joker personalities to explain why in the entire lifetime of the Joker, he has acted in three distinctly different ways. From killing joke Joker, to goofy haha Joker, to the dark and twisted cut my own face Joker. I'm pretty sure that's not the three Jokers, what the personalities are, but you get what I'm saying with this. The way the Joker acts different so often. Anyway, the three Joker tangent was I hope it helps some of you guys because it's still baffling to me, but that's not why we're here. So that concluded Joker Year 1. So now as a Batman fan following Chip Zdarsky's run, we know what Zur-En-Arrh is, we know how he was created, and we know that he's in Failsafe's body. So the assumption is, well, Batman's going to come back in the next issue, which should drop like next week. And we're going to finally have this knockdown, drag-out fight with Zur-En-Arrh, a fight that we've been building up to for about a year now. But DC just told me that's not going to happen. DC just told me that Waller's going to recruit that Zur-En-Arrh and that Batman in June, July to fight against the entire Justice League. Also, Brainiac's daughter / wife / we'll just say female Brainiac because that's what she looks like. So how do I get hyped about this? How do I care about what's happening in Batman if they're just going to tell me, okay, well, it doesn't matter because he's going to be over here? Like, that's the problem when you follow comics as closely as I do and you follow the news releases because they're promoting this 4-issue series launches on July 2nd. So I know what's going to happen on July 2nd. Superman's going to survive against the battle against Brainiac. Something's going to happen to main Brainiac and we're going to get female Brainiac. And Zur-En-Arrh is not going to be removed before July because then this story wouldn't work. Is it probably going to be a cool and epic story? Yeah, but you're killing all the hype. Now we're going to have, March is going to be 2 issues of Batman. April's going to be 2 issues of Batman. May's going to be 2 issues of Batman. So we're going to have 8 issues of Batman before this. So that means in the next 8 issues, it's not getting resolved. Which I'm happy and sad for because now how do I get hyped about those 8 issues? I might as well just not even bother and wait for the trade paperback to come out because whatever happens is going to lead to Robot Batman, the ultimate Batman battling against Batman and Superman and everybody else. This is actually lines up with my complaint when it comes to trailers in movies. How often do you watch a trailer in a movie and they're like, here's the opening and the midsection and the final fight. And you're like, you just told me the whole movie. Comic books are not giving me anything to be hyped about. Should I be excited about Zur-En-Arrh? Should I be excited about Superman's Brainiac fight? What you're telling me is neither of these things is going to matter because we're getting absolute power and that one's going to matter. What you're telling me is that Waller and everything she just did in Beast World isn't going to matter because it needs to matter for absolute power. And that's where I have problems with modern day comic books. I'll sit here and tell you all day that there are ramifications for certain things happening. Beast World's ramifications are what happened to Raven, and that seems to be where we're going to go. But by setting up events that are this far out, certain things literally can't matter. Brainiac's arrival can't ultimately matter because we need Brainiac. And this is where I think a lot of people have issues with comics and my issues with comics because there's a lot of ramifications to certain events, but we also know that comic books are setting up for the next event a year later. So how many ramifications can you truly have in a comic book or even in an individual line like Chip Zdarsky's Zur-En-Arrh if we need Zur-En-Arrh? It was the problem we had with the Batman Who Laughs, where they would promote the next Batman Who Laughs event before we finished up the current one. And you'd be like, well, I guess they're not getting rid of Batman Who Laughs. He has to be around in December. Sorry, this is more of a mini rant. I got no conclusion. I'm not going anywhere. I'm just saying that it really ruins my hype for what's happening when you're telling me the ending. You're literally just telling me the ending. Batman's going to fight Zur-En-Arrh for the next 8 issues. He's not going to win. Zur-En-Arrh's going to that. So anyway, I'm Benny. This is Comicstorian. I hope you guys enjoyed today's problem with. I don't think we named it the problem with because we're trying to get you guys to click it. But you get the problem. The problem